Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to do our inaugural installation of a series that we're going to try to keep updated called Bull or Bear, where we discuss companies that are currently trading on the market or are soon to be IPO. And we're going to make either a bull or a bear case for it. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe,
baby.
Like and subscribe, baby. Our first installment of this, we're going to discuss a company that is already trading. Vitaly has a stake in this company and is very bullish on it. So, Vitaly, what are we talking about today?
Talking about NIO. NIO is a Chinese car maker, and we've briefly mentioned them a couple of times, because we talked about FUV and Tesla. So I'm obviously all up in the electric car space. I can't stay away from it. And my belief is a bullish one that there can't just be one winner for everything. So Tesla is obviously the clear winner. There's got to be a second and third place, If Tesla's going to $1 trillion, maybe NIO's going to 100 billion.
Being a freelancer finance channel, there's going to be a conclusion of whether or not we think it's a buy or an avoid. At the end of the day, it comes down to where should you put your dollars? Should your dollars be in this company or not?
The ES8 and the ES6, those are the more like the larger SUV sedan, larger sedans or whatever it's called. Well, I guess SUVs, right? So they have a couple of vehicles and they have more coming, but these are the main ones. We're going to go to the actual call because I wanted to discuss why I think NIO is killing it right now and why this stock has went from $3 to roughly 15, and it's gone back down a little bit to 12. But there's a reason for that because their numbers are getting sort of better and bigger. I am bullish on NIO.
Vitaly's bullish,
but there's several reasons. One is they're selling more vehicles. Two is their business is actually growing. Their profitability is increasing, even though they're still losing money, like every car manufacturer except maybe Tesla now. And their tech play is interesting. They actually have battery swap stations. So NIO is trying to do something different. They're saying you can come to our battery swap station and in 3 minutes, we're just going to give you a new battery and then you drive off. This is part of their service. Okay. They want to do battery as a service, which is interesting. So when you buy the car, you don't actually buy your battery. You can release a battery. When it goes bad, you get another one. So let's go to the call.
Before you do that, let's look at the stock price now. Let's look at what it's done. Let's look at the market cap. Let's look at some of the fundamentals of the company before
You're right. I moved on too fast.
Come on.
NIO's at $13 right now. What does that mean? So it's at 15 billion. Now, people who aren't paying attention to market cap, this company exploded. It went from $3, which was roughly $3 billion, to 15 billion. So it exploded in market cap. Now, does that mean it's too pricey right now? Yeah, that could mean it's too pricey right now, obviously. But Tesla's market cap for a tech car play and an energy play, which NIO is sort of becoming with this battery swap tech, is I think Tesla's 300 billion. So I'm not saying this is going to be another Tesla. I'm not saying they're going to be in the lead. They're only a Chinese company right now, meaning they're not global yet, even though they have a global footprint they're developing. But is it worth more than 15 billion over the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years? I could imagine, yes, if they keep executing the way they are. Remember, you had to wait 10 years for Tesla to explode. So this might be a long wait, but I don't think so with the EV market so hot. I think this is at least a double from here. That's my bet.
Right now, the word valuation doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, money's being printed like crazy.
Exist.
People are looking for the next Tesla. That's why Nikola is worth 15 billion, 16 billion. Why is Nikola?
No, Nikola's worth nothing.
Nikola, which also makes nothing. They wanted cars, but they're worth more than NIO. They don't actually make cars.
We almost should do a separate video on Nikola.
I wanted to bring it up for the point of valuation.
Yeah, the other ones in the space, yeah.
This is important to know that here's a company that doesn't actually produce any vehicles, doesn't sell any vehicles to anybody, is competing against a Chinese manufacturer, has sold 50,000 vehicles actually to people who are driving them, has real tech deployed in a country that's humongous, and they're worth less than a company that makes nothing, which is amazing. The pandemic didn't tank them. Their numbers have been going up. So that's a very positive sign that new tech is actually doing well, meaning EVs are doing very well in the pandemic, while other legacy manufacturers are obviously dying off like
they're treading water at this point, at least in the
totally
EV
treading
space,
water. And market caps are going down. Their stock prices are falling. Here's a company that everything is growing. So this is the quarter two earnings call that just happened. NIO achieved second quarter deliveries of over 10,000 units and delivered an aggregate of 10,331 ES8s. That's one of their lines, right? And ES6s, representing a strong growth of 190.8% year over year and 169.2% quarter over quarter. This is growth. These are crazy numbers. If I knew that NIO was going to do this, would I ever sell them? No, obviously. But these are some crazy numbers they're putting forward. In July 2020, NIO delivered 3,533 units, making the second highest monthly delivery results. Okay. So the cumulative deliveries in the first 7 months of 2020 increased by 111% over the same period of 2019. So NIO is a much younger company, but still they're really up there in terms of the growth, you know? And the third quarter, which is not here yet, by the way, we are confident to achieve a new quarter record of 11,000 to 11,500 deliveries. Basically, they're going from over 10,000 units to now 11,000 to 11,500 deliveries. And in fact, in this whole second quarter talk, they're basically saying how we're ramping up for this expected sales of our vehicles. The vehicle margins and the gross margin reached 9.7%. So I think Tesla's margin, if we're comparing it to Tesla, are probably, I think, in the order of 20, 25%. So Tesla's making really killer margins, okay? Because they produce far more cars. But NIO has increased their margins over 9.7%, and their previous estimates or previous guidance was 5%. They are actually also working on autonomous driving as well. They're obviously not as far as Tesla is, but they say right now we have already got a team, about 200 people. Remember, this is China, so 200 people might be cheaper, but 200 people focusing on the autonomous driving technology development, which accounts for a fixed part of their R&D costs. So they're actually expecting it's not going to cost them, it's a fixed cost for them, and it's not going to cost them too much more in terms of developing their R&D section for autonomous driving. In part of the call, an analyst asks, what's your future plan for overseas expansion? This is Bin Wang from Credit Suisse who asks. And the answer by William Lee, who's the chairman of the board, says, we are a global startup. We have kept our normal operation in the San Jose and German offices despite the most difficult time in the last year. Obviously, they're talking about COVID.
Yeah.
Even with COVID-19, we still operate normally in the overseas offices. So look, my point is they have a footprint that's developing globally. They don't sell globally. But this is good to know that they're actually starting to operate in different regions, America and Germany in this case, where at some point their vehicles are going to come here. And imagine right now if they're killing it and the numbers are increasing. Imagine when they expand with their product line and more vehicles being sold in other countries like here and Germany. And honestly, their cars are beautiful. I think this would give Tesla, if they price it competitively, some people will go for this. I totally believe it. So the third question and last question, William mentioned monthly production capacity of between 4,500 to 5,000 units. And Stephen just guided roughly 11,000 unit car deliveries in the next quarter. Why do we see a gap between the production capacity and the sales? Okay. So Stephen Feng, he's the chief financial officer of NIO. He answers, first, we increased our product capacity in the end of August. And for any plant which tries to increase its product capacity, there is a ramp up period. Okay. So our production capacity in July and August is still below 4,000 units. And that is a constant for our delivery in Q3. And why do we increase our product capacity to 4,500 to 5,000? That's because the preparation for our Q4 delivery. So why are they preparing for a larger number in Q4? I think they have orders.
How do people purchase a NIO? Do you go to their website? Do you pre-order, or do you go to a dealership, or do you go to a
there is dealerships that NIO opened, these storefronts like Tesla sort of did.
So do they have pre-orders? Let's try to order one right now.
This is their website.
Let's try to buy a NIO right now.
Let's try.
I want to see what the process is to buy the car. How do you build it? What options do you have? Let's see how much it costs.
EC6.
Let's look at an EC6. Let's get a new one, and let's get a black one.
Let's get a new one.
Let's get a nice one with that sunroof.
Once again, I'm in the United States, so I don't even know if you can do this from the US without VPNing into China. So I'm not sure how this works in.
Well, this is important because he could be they could be expecting to have that on hand and building up inventory to be able to sell directly, be able to sell and get them out quickly. Or if they're filling orders like the Cybertruck,
Yeah.
he said we got orders 3 years out. It can take us 3 years to fill the Cybertruck orders that we already have, and people have put money.
No, it's a good question. Whether they actually have these pre-orders online, and I don't even see any buy
keep
now.
Talking. I'm gonna look that up. NIO bags 5,000 test drives and 320 pre-orders in 40 minutes.
Okay.
Details: more than 20 million viewers watched the webcast of Tabao Sunday during a 40-minute period. This was, what day was this? It was May 18, 2020. So this was back in May. The company announced secured 320 non-refundable deposits, totaling 18 million in sales. Nearly 5,300 people booked the slot for NIO's test drives. So that is those are actual numbers. So the ES6 SUV during 40 minutes, they had 320 pre-orders, non-refundable deposits that totaled.
That's the ES6. Okay, this is the ES6. There's
and
also
they totaled
an EC6.
18 million. So they generated 18 million in 40 minutes.
Yeah. So my point: 320 cars is not going to make anybody rich, obviously, but NIO's becoming a real player in terms of the amount of cars they sell. Like I said, their total amount of cars that they've sold thus far is over 50,000, which to me now becomes, this is a legitimate player. 50,000 cars in one country as opposed to selling all over the world. What is their global reach? So, 50,000 per territory, even another 40,000 per territory. I don't know. I don't know what that reach is, but I feel like there's definitely a real play here for NIO doing well over the next couple of years. We want to improve the production capacity because of the strong demand in the market. The strong demand, he's already saying there's a strong demand in the market. Many of my friends have asked me to check whether it's possible to have their ES8 delivered early. So there's a very big ES8 order backlog right now. So that sort of answers your question. There is a backlog of ES8.
But I want to know the number. Like that. That's the thing is, he could have a backlog of 200 vehicles and say
he doesn't mention it in this call.
Right.
We can search up that, but he doesn't mention it.
We need to know what the number is.
Delivery will commence in late September. So that car hasn't even been delivered yet, this year. So we also need some time to ramp up production of the EC6 in the front. Before we start the delivery of the EC6, we will start to accumulate orders for the EC6. So I don't know if they've got any orders, the way he's making it seem, but the ES6 itself does seem to have orders, and they have to ramp up production to actually get them out there.
We're going to witness significant pressure on our delivery and production. That's why we would like to increase our production capacity at the end of August so we can be fully prepared for the E6 ramp up. And
EC6, yeah.
EC6
honestly, their car names are not the worst, but they're confusing with the ES6, EC6. I wish they just made it like, Tesla does the Model 3, Model X, Model Y. It just makes it easier, right? It just, they made it sexy.
I'm assuming that the 6 and the 8 are how many seats it has.
Yeah, you could be right. The EC6, yeah, you're probably right. But
electric
the
compact 6, electric sedan 8.
Yes. You're right. You're right. That's actually very plausible. I think you got it right.
Here's the guy from Bank of America. I'll be the green. I'll read the green. Congratulations. 2 questions. So the first question is that the market seems does not understand too much of battery as a service. So they want to talk a little bit about that. First of all, I'd like to know.
Well, you glossed over it, but this is important because NIO's doing something different about this battery as a service, because the battery is the most expensive part. You can actually lease the car or buy the car and then lease the battery. Isn't that that's kind of cool?
Read his answer. Battery as a service is a very innovative business model, and it's quite difficult to validate this process. I'll let you pick it up from there.
Like I meant,
that is a very telling line. It is very difficult to validate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have now got the government approval for the first vehicle. Remember, in China, that's allowed to do this without the battery. Has already finished the validation process regarding the insurance purchase, loan application, and the license plate registration. Basically, it means that you buy the car without the battery, and it means that when you pay for the car, you do not need to pay for the cost of the battery. So hold on, I'm going to keep going on this. But if we can go with the battery as a service solution, then it means that with a new product and the certification policy, the users can have less payment at the beginning, but they can still enjoy the loan for their monthly payment. which, just like you mentioned, should be able to lower the down payment as well as the monthly payment for the users. We are one party out of this endeavor, but we are not the main stakeholder. So it means that it's not going to affect our balance sheet. That means they partnered with somebody to do this loan out thing for the battery. But hold on. So he ends the call with, but we would like to set up this company around August. This asset company is going to own the battery assets and then lease it to the users. We believe that this is going to be a very innovative move for the whole industry and attract more parties to join the asset management company and build a virtuous cycle. So sort of like the gas model, except when you don't want to pay for the whole battery at the same time. And that's a huge savings because these batteries are 20, 30% of the car. These aren't small additions to the car, right? So anyway, I think that's a big thing, a big deal. It's going to happen for people who can't afford expensive EVs, but they can afford a payment plan on maybe the battery part of it, you know? Okay. So I want to move forward just to get through the whole call, and then we can discuss your point of view. We have kept our cadence of launching one new product every year. So this company, he's telling you we are planning to launch new products every year. This is going to happen. We're going to be releasing new things. It's already happening. But what we can say now is the next product will be a sedan. But I would like to ask for your patience. The Chinese are very kind. They're very, imagine the American CEO. Let me ask for your patience, please. So
they'll be like, just wait a minute.
Yeah. These are such bullish statements that they're making sound very nice. You know what I mean? This is the thing that Tesla gets. They get credits, right? Credits for polluters, basically, from the government because they can sell those credits. I just want to point out that NIO also gets those credits, and they expect to make around 100, it's not dollars, it's 100 RMB credits from last year, I think they're getting. I'm just pointing out that NIO seems to have a similar thing going on as Tesla in terms of like the credits, the autonomy.
Well, it says right there, we should be able to generate 120 million for the revenue of the credit.
And I think this is RMB. I don't think this is RMB. It's not dollars though. So why am I so bullish? Not because I looked at NIO and said, oh, they're making an EV car. It's because the things the guy is saying is everything sort of like Tesla said for a long time, and a lot of people ignored it. You know, people ignored Elon Musk saying we're gonna grow at 50% a year. They've ignored him, and he's still saying this in every call. You know what I'm saying? And they're just ignoring him. What's happening with Tesla? I'm not saying they're exactly going to end up there, but this company is on a good trajectory right now that I think it's a safe bet to say this is a double, triple for me. And once again, I'm not keeping them forever. I'm getting my double. I am pulling out half my stake to get my initial investment out, and I'm pulling out my investment, and then I'm putting that half my investments into another sector completely.
To cut to the chase, I'm completely bearish on this company. I do not think this is worth an investment at all that you should be putting your money in. I think at that price for $13, throw your money into Nordstrom or LB, $13. I think you'll double, triple your money just as fast, and you'll actually see further growth as the work from home thing happens. And here's why. I took some notes. Some of the stuff was just taking notes while you were talking. Okay, number one, NIO is riding Tesla's wave. NIO is riding Tesla's wave of Tesla's success. So this is money that people are putting into the stock because Tesla was too expensive, and they were like, well, let me throw my money into another company that's cheaper, and they're pumping up the stock.
But what you're saying is also a positive, because part of our game is that I think it's going to double, not because it's not overpriced right now, but because there's a whole EV wave happening right now.
Yes. Well, this is where actually my bearish argument and your bullish argument convene. Right. I don't believe that you want to hold the stock for more than 6 months, and you're saying you don't want to either. So yes, short term, bullish if you want, but all I'm saying is for that stock price, I'm not going to put my money in some Chinese company making EVs overseas. I'm going to put my money into Nordstrom out here for $13, and I'm going to ride the Black Friday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, end of the year wave, and that stock should get up to $30. Way faster, and I think it's a way safer investment, because at the end of the day, I could be bullish on NIO. NIO's going to make money, but are you going to make more money? It's the dollar amount. We always talked about percentages. It's about percentage, but there's a certain point where you got to look at the dollar amounts now. You got to look at, and this is what I want to get into. We're looking at Tesla's share price versus NIO. Tesla's market cap is 307 billion. NIO's market cap is 15 billion. Tesla used to be the most shorted stock on the market. And right now they only have 8% of their shares shorted. 896 million shares out there. 11% of those are people betting it's going to fail. Over 10% of NIO's shares are people betting this $13 stock is going to 9. What I'd like to see, what I didn't check, is where that was months ago to see how this number has changed. But that worries me. For a company with a $15 billion market cap, for 10, 11%, what's 11% of 15 billion? That's $1,650 million is betting that this company is going to fail. And if you look at compare Tesla's 1-year chart to NIO's 1-year chart, and they're basically riding the same. This is someone who's went out and made a Cybertruck out of nothing. They built their own DIY Cybertruck, and they're riding it around as a replica. No one's doing this for NIO. This is what I call the Apple effect. This is people that are just absolutely in love with this company, and Tesla itself is a status symbol. That is something that is, you cannot create that. The NIO CEO is not Elon Musk. He's a businessman, and he's going to go and he's going to make money, but I don't see them generating the hype, the love, that passion that people have for a company that you really need in order to become an Apple, a Microsoft, for all of those big blue chip stocks. We know the CEO.
No. I agree with you on that. And once again, that's why I own Tesla.
I'm not arguing whether NIO deserves a seat at the table. I'm coming back to, do you put your $13 into this company? And I'm saying no.
Okay.
I don't think you do it. And I got more reasons. Here we go. I sent you this article this morning. Tesla Cybertruck V4 charges hints at Plaid Model S monster peak charging rate. Okay, Tesla is increasing the rate of charging of these cars. NIO's entire model of battery swapping is to get around cars not charging fast enough. Tesla is destroying that. They're going to have cars that charge in 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And not only that, I own an electric vehicle. Let me tell you, the only people worried about how long it takes to charge are people that are used to gas cars. I don't think about charging the car. It charges overnight.
What happens to the person who owns a vehicle in the city who doesn't have a house to plug in their car? What do they do?
Charging is not a problem. You charge it at your house. If you live in a building with with parking spaces, almost all of them have charging stations, and you basically get a parking space and you charge your car there, and they charge you a small premium on the electricity. Not only that, California had a new rule that every new house that gets built as of, I think, 2021 has to have solar panels on it. This idea of swapping batteries is a failing business model. Here's why. I got a number of reasons, okay? Number one, battery swapping infrastructure is something that is simply not going to be needed in the future. It creates service. Now you have a place, you have time without your vehicle. That's another touch point of someone touching your vehicle. They could put a bad battery in there. It could fucking blow up. This is creating employees. Now you got to pay these people. Now you have a bunch of inventory. You got a bunch of batteries sitting there. You got to move batteries around to where they're needed.
You live in a brownstone. You do have a vehicle, and I have lots of friends who do have vehicles, and they have to go to a gas station, obviously. So wouldn't it be easy if they just dropped and changed batteries? But the thing about, you're not holding inventory like you're saying.
By the time they have that infrastructure rolled out, there will be Teslas on the road, autonomous Teslas on call whenever you need them. You're not going to have to go and buy a car and buy a battery and lease a battery. It's an extremely convoluted business model. Now you got a third-party company that's going to lease you the battery, and you're going to have to swap it out every few years, just like your phone. They're going to have new ones that come out. It's a mess. I do not believe that this battery swap thing is going to be worth it. It is an interim step to the point of becoming autonomous, where you don't need the car anymore.
You're talking about 10 years from now. You're not talking about 2 years from now.
And I think by 10 years from now, Tesla, Uber, and Lyft will have so many self-driving cars on the road. The idea of buying one yourself and leasing a battery, you're going to really go and price batteries. Does that sound exciting to go, look, I'm going to get the 2 kilowatt one? It's not like buying an iPhone. This is boring. It's stupid. It's a business guy heading NIO, not a visionary. They are going to make money, and you as an investor can make money. But at the end of the day, this is freelancer finance. Someone comes here and has $1,000 and says, what do I put it in? Do I put it in NIO, or do I put it in Nordstrom? Put it in Nordstrom's, okay? They just fired a bunch of employees. They're gonna make a bunch of money. Or put it into LB, put it into Cheesecake Factory, put it into any other of these stocks that you can just, it's a much cleaner business model. And then also, NIO is gonna have to build this infrastructure infrastructure here. It's a bunch of real estate that they're going to have to get to have these places. They got to build these things.
Tesla has an infrastructure too.
But Tesla is building an infrastructure of superchargers that they're going to license out to other companies. So they're going to make money from, not Nikola because they're banned, but they're going to make money from every other company that's going to be licensing them. They're going to be the Exxon Mobil of juice, of power, and they're going to put solar panels on top of all of those stations that are generating power into Tesla batteries for free. And they're going to charge you the money to buy that power from them. This is about making money. And I think if you want to make your money, yeah, put a couple bucks into NIO. You're going to make some money as an investor long-term, but I just think this is a way too complicated business model. If you can't explain it in 30 seconds, this guy's going to have a 400 volt 500 volt, charger charging at 250 kilowatts. They're going to have the Tesla supercharging station is going to be a lounge where you get a drink and you have food, and they're going to make money on that while your car is charging. It is going to be a hotspot, a place to chill, meet other Tesla drivers, other EV people. NIO is not that company. Edmunds at one point said that the Cadillac Lyriq was going to be the Tesla killer, and then they had to come back and backtrack it. Here's what they said: GM to long-range car. Jill will put out of business Tesla tomorrow. And here they are again. Let's collectively shelve those Tesla killer headlines for now because some other news happened and blah, 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 blah. And as someone pointed out underneath, you were the ones calling it a Tesla killer this morning. We've heard this argument before. This is people that don't want to pay this. And so they're saying, this is the new thing. This is the deal. Tesla is the deal. They have a 10-year head start. They have a 10-year or 12-year head start on NIO. NIO stock soars after the e-market reports strong deliveries. That's good for Tesla. So they did. The company delivered 17,000 vehicles in 2020. I couldn't find some new ones, but here's NIO's sales in 2018. They sold 100. And when they say they tripled in July of 2018, they sold 300 more cars. This is where you have to actually look at the numbers.
Well, that's a month later, buddy.
I know. When you talk about tripling and quadrupling, you're talking about hundreds of cars. Tesla sold 6,500 cars in June 2019. This was a year ago. So this was NIO's sales in January, 1,400 cars to Tesla's 3,000. These are out of order. Tesla's selling 2,284 vehicles. NIO sold 671.
Right.
This was February 2020. That's in China. This is in China.
Yes.
They crushed their earnings, or they blew past their expectations. If I expected them to sell 3 vehicles and they sold 600, I'm going to be happy. But Tesla is eating their face right now. December 2019, they weren't even the top car. They weren't even the top. And we see that by January, the very next month, that is growth. That's why this price, that's why this, and that's why you have this. Fortune magazine. Why shares of Tesla, NIO, and other electric vehicles are skyrocketing? Tesla delivered 91,000 vehicles in second quarter, jumped 13% on Monday, okay? These are numbers that NIO is, they're not going anywhere near it. These are 91,000 potential customers that they're never going to get back. No one's ever going to sell their NIO, their Tesla, and buy a NIO, but there's plenty of people that are going to graduate from a NIO and buy a Tesla. Tesla delivered 80,000 mid-market vehicles, 10,000 of its S and S, and these are high-end vehicles. Look, their entire business model with this whole battery swap thing is affordability. They're making their case on affordability. There's another company that did that too, and we're going to look at that and how they're faring now. Okay, to put that in perspective, the Nissan Leaf that we own charges at 6.6 kilowatts. NIO June deliveries jumped 179%, but that's 3,000 cars. So when we look at this number and you go, oh my God, they exceeded sales guidance, what we're talking about is 3,000 cars, and we've already seen that Tesla did that in January of this year, pre-pandemic.
We know Tesla's the king.
No.
And they took 12 years to become the king.
Yeah, that's my point. And so NIO's not going to come in here 4 years later and just eat number 2 market share. They're just not. Listen,
that's like saying nobody else can make.
I'm not saying nobody else can. I'm just saying that I don't think NIO is a good buy. I'm not saying they're not going to make money.
Okay, so basically, if you should buy a share of Tesla now or a share of NIO, you think just buy the Tesla share.
Just buy Tesla. Line. Why are you going to make a play on a new company that still has to prove itself when Tesla has 10 years of experience. And it's the same guy that's putting people on Mars. It's the same guy trying to neural network people. It's the same guy trying to build tunnels from here to Las Vegas. It's the same guy that's making flamethrowers. I mean, NIO announces a strategic collaboration with Mobileye to bring level 4 autonomous driving to customers in China and beyond. This was November of 2019. They're looking to go level 4 by at some point this year. Well, if we come over here, Tesla is very close to level 5. And we might even see that this year. Volvo is also making a play at level 4, but they're already at level 5, okay? And that's NIO working with another company to do this, to help them try to get their thing. So they're doing a kind of a Nikola thing, that they're gonna need this other company to do their thing. And if you really wanna invest in the totality of NIO's business, you gotta invest in them, and you gotta look at that company, because that company is gonna be responsible for whether or not NIO is successful with their even level 4. All right, so now NIO's making a play.
Mobileye is not a small company.
Right. So NIO's making a play for number 2 electric vehicle maker, and they're working with the number 2 autonomous vehicle developer when Tesla is number 1 in both. This is your money, guys. Tesla is about to split. Tesla is about to split to about 300 and something bucks. If you had $1,500 before, you can buy 1 billion shares of NIO and be a part owner of the company, or you can get into some Tesla stock here, which is going to make you a 5 or 10x in a few years. NIO is not a good buy, man. Here's more. NIO recalls 5,000 ES8 SUVs for a risk, for a fire risk. They recalled 5,000 of their high-performance electric after a series of battery fires in China. They're still growing. Guess what? Tesla had this problem in 2012 before the Model S. The 2012 Model S went through this. They are going through the same growing pains that Tesla went through in 2012. So you want to be an investor and you want to pay for their learning? Why not just buy the mother of all EV, solar, battery, Exxon Mobil, energy companies of the world? You're investing in 7 or 8 sectors with them, and everything that they buy, they're going to be able to use. Every piece of real estate that Tesla buys for a supercharging station is the money that people pay for the electricity. They're going to make it a lounge. It's also free power for them because they're going to be charging it off their solar, and they're going to create a whole ecosystem. They're going to make an Apple Store-like environment around the supercharging station. You're saying if you compare it to Tesla, it's never going to be good. And I'm saying even if you don't, and you're like, but Tesla does exist. This is the actual numbers. NIO's net margins are horrific. Their revenue is awful. And
you could have said the same thing for 10 years on Tesla.
If you're a freelancer right now, do you want to wait 10 years for NIO to do what Tesla's going to do in 2?
Once again, the money you make is when the thing is not ready yet. Tesla is already half baked. Tesla to go to another 10x, not going to happen for a long time. NIO to go to 10x,
not a single Cybertruck has hit the road. The Tesla's 2-seater has not hit the road. Tesla's van has not hit the road. Tesla's motorcycle has not hit the road. Tesla solar is not really a thing. Tesla insurance is not really a thing. The Tesla Roadster, the 1 million-mile battery hasn't come out. Dude, Tesla is a baby, and this is the problem. People think that it's a fully baked company because it's been around for 10 years. They are just getting started, man.
I agree. Actually, everything you said, absolutely. By the way, let me just agree. It's 100% true. This is why most of my investment is in Tesla.
I'm really looking forward to what the comments are. If you want to make money before Christmas, you want to make a quick double up on your cash, throw your money into NIO and pull it out. Take it out. And
this is what I'm saying.
Take it out and put it into Tesla. But I think if we're at a $13 stock price, take all that money and throw it in Planet 13. And in 2 weeks, when they have their earnings, you're going to make that same 2x. In other words, you make a case for NIO being a good company to invest in because of fundamentals, but then you make it seem that it's a spec play to make a 2x. If you want to make a 2x, put it into Planet 13 right now.
The 2x is less of a spec play than the long-term thing, because what you're mentioning is actually true. So meaning the whole replacing your battery, I think it's good for the next 5 to 7 years. Yes, while all the charging stations get built up all over the country.
If you buy, listen, if you buy an electric,
while the charging stations get built up everywhere, like there are gas stations, that's going to take some time. So NIO has an interim solution to that problem. Solution.
Okay, and again, I don't know the Chinese market. Okay, and NIO only operates in the Chinese market. I'm an electric vehicle owner, man. You forget that gas stations exist. The idea of needing to swap and running out of power does not exist. when you own an electric vehicle. When
You have
most
a
of your
Nissan Leaf that goes
most of
80
you,
miles. And then what if you wanted to go more than 80 miles?
I'm an electric vehicle owner of a 2015 Nissan Leaf. The new one has a 350-mile range. You would charge that vehicle once a week, and you would plug that vehicle in at 8 p.m. on a Friday when you're home from work, and it'll charge when the battery electricity is the cheapest, and you're done for the week. I'm not saying that driving to a battery swap place is not more convenient for the consumer, but that's not where you make the money. As an investor, I'm not making money making it more convenient for the consumer. I'm making money on the company that's providing the service. So now
Well,
every one battery,
they charge you for this. They charge you for this.
I
by the
get
way.
it, and they also have to build the thing. What happens when you put your car into this automatic, battery swap thing, and it makes a mistake? I like the automatic thing to go park my car, but I'm not a fan of this automatic. Look, that's my vehicle. Okay, what happens if something happens to the vehicle while it's in this machine-like device that's swapping it out, doing a NASCAR, pit stop? I don't trust
That's
it,
funny.
man. I don't
That's funny.
I don't trust my car. I don't like putting my car in a car wash alone, let alone.
I agree with you in
this
terms
thing
of the long-term
swapping
thing.
out
10
batteries.
years from
What if
now,
you get a
nobody's going to
crap-
do this.
What if you get a crappy and then what are they going to do with all of that real estate that they have and all of the infrastructure and all the robots that they built? Why don't you take all that money and just make more capacity and make cheaper, better batteries? Because they can't. And so what they're doing is they're trying to make a convenience thing, and they're trying to get the cost price down to get penetration into the market. But this is why they are losing 194 billion. This is what they lost. And then they lost 145 billion. Tesla's, this is net margins, I'm sorry, net operating cash flow. They're getting worse every year. Tesla is getting better every year. People watching this channel want to make money. So if you have $10,000, I'm not going to
spec. What are you talking about? You've invested in what's it called, in Planet 13. That's a spec play.
It's a spec play.
There's no guarantee there.
It's a spec play in the terms of the market cap, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put my money into Planet 13 and then find their number one competitor and try to hedge some money on them. I'm going to put all of my money into the company that I've researched that I think is going to make money.
Well, they have plenty of competitors. There's plenty of cannabis competitors. I'm saying
I understand. But what I'm saying is,
the thing is, not only one is going to win. There's going to be several who actually win.
At the end of the day, if you have $10,000, what I'm saying is in the same time span, say you want to hold that for 2 years, you're going to make more money if you leave the 10,000 in Tesla and don't take 2,000 and go put it into a spec play like NIO. Put it in the monster player, the one that's the heavyweight, the whale. And Tesla is not just an invest. If you look at it like this, if you divided Tesla up into their individual companies and calculated, say, at $1,600, which is what they're sitting now, they would probably be at a $200 price, let's say, for each. The car company is worth $200, the solar's worth $200, and all of it together comes to a $1,600 share price. Tesla is like an ETF of an energy sector. And any one of those things can push that stock price. Tesla is trying to bring everything in-house, and NIO is partnering up with people. That is risk. That's risk above and beyond the speculative play and just investing in the company. What I'm saying is, if you want to put money in the EV sector, put it all in Tesla. Don't waste your time with these other
BS. I bought FUV at $2 and I've quadrupled my money in that.
My point is that a lot of the money that's sitting in NIO right now, and we're looking, first of all, $1.5 billion is people betting on it to fail. So let's just get rid of 1 billion of their market cap. For example, when Nikola had a little bit of a bull run off of some news when they announced Nikola Day in December, okay? Tesla's share price went down. And you saw equivalent volume trading Nikola
switch
going
over,
up.
Maybe switch over. Right?
Yeah, people were like, oh, screw this. I'm going to pull out a Tesla because Nikola looks like it's got some momentum. And you see the same thing with NIO. As Tesla's share price gets too high, you're seeing some money being siphoned off. I would bet you're going to see this price go down, trade closely together. There's money within the EV sector. And yes, there's people that are balancing it out. But my guess would be over the next few months, whatever news NIO has will be drowned out by Battery Day and the split. As a spec play or a seasonal play, yes, I would not recommend this stock to someone. And what I'm saying is, if you're not going to hold it for 5 years, there are other plays, maybe even outside of this sector, that will make you money faster. You could, if you have $10,000, put your $10,000 in Bitcoin right now and let it go for a year. You're going to make more money up to $10,000. Because at the end of the day, if you're starting your investment portfolio, you need to grow this money. You need to grow it so you can start making moves. NIO might make some money in the short term. And look, I could be completely wrong. But what I'm saying is right now, from where I'm sitting in all of this news, I think that there's better places for that money. They're like soldiers. When Tesla has a 1,000,000-mile battery, and you can charge.
Tesla is gonna win. Is NIO gonna double? NIO's gonna double.
Okay.
Is Tesla gonna win? Yes. Is NIO gonna double?
So
yes.
what my point is, when you've got Tesla able to charge the car, when you got Tesla able to charge a car extremely quickly, and it's an extremely efficient battery that is power to weight ratio will far exceed whatever NIO has. The idea of stopping to go swap your battery out and putting it into this like little toaster oven that pops out the other side, but
that's an expense.
And how are they moving these things around? They don't have Tesla semis that are moving their cars and shipping them around. They don't have Tesla semis that are moving their cars and batteries back and forth. They're going to have a solution for that. And
Tesla didn't have Tesla semis until like a year ago. So
Tesla has it now.
I know, but once again. Over the 10 years, Tesla did not have semis, and when they were selling a couple hundred cars a year, nobody.
We're not comparing NIO to Tesla 10 years ago. We're comparing NIO to Tesla now, and now they went through all that. NIO still has to go through all of that. They don't have that infrastructure. Tesla can take advantage of what I call the Apple tax. We talked about the Apple tax. Okay, iPhone prices came out. The original 4G was $500, and people said, "Man, a Motorola Razr was." What was a Motorola Razr? $100? We are at a point now where people are paying $1,100 for an iPhone every year.
Yes.
Okay. That is not because the iPhone is way better product, say, than Android. I personally believe Apple is.
Well, it is a better product. I agree.
I believe it's a much better, but is it $1,100?
Tesla's a better product. I agree.
Right, but is an iPhone $1,100 worth to a $400 Galaxy 7? I don't.
Yes.
I don't know. No. And the end user, yeah. I mean, I have an iPhone, and my iPhone 11 is the greatest phone that I've owned. It's never ever done me wrong. Tesla is that company for this space, meaning that they have I do not see anyone migrating from Tesla. Tesla will only pull people from other competitors. I think you're still better off putting the money into Tesla and letting it sit there. And if you want as a spec play, you could put it in NIO for a couple of months, ride out some Q3 and earn it. But at the end of the day, your money, the home for your money, long-term future safety is Tesla. If you have $10,000 and you can only put it in one company for the next 3 months.
Why do I have to do one? I have $10,000.
Because that.
Why can't I do $8,000?
No. Because hear me out. Because $8,000. No. Hear me out. Because when you reduce something to a binary decision, one way or the other, that's the only way.
Look. Obviously, Tesla's the king, and I'm going to stick with Tesla.
So if you have $10,000,
they have won. They have already won, and they're going to keep going up. So I can take my 10,000 and turn it into, let's say, 20,000 over 5 years.
Right. Fine. But at the end of the day, with all the arguments, and I agree with you. I'm not saying it's not a place to put your money, but when rubber hits the road, if I have your last $10,000 in my hand and I'm saying I'm going to put it all in Tesla or I'm going to put it all in NIO for the next 3 months till January 1st, where would you feel more comfortable having it for 3 months?
If it was only 10,000 that I've had, that's it?
Yeah,
only 10,000? I don't have any other money?
That's it.
I would always buy Tesla first.
If one of our viewers comes to you and says, I have $10,000, that's my only $10,000 and I want to leave it there till January 1st.
Buy Tesla.
And so, so if you buy NIO, if you do buy NIO or you put a percentage into NIO, understand that's the...
It's a risk.
It's a risk.
3 years from now, Tesla's all over the planet. They have 16 gigafactories. Who the fuck knows? Obviously, that's why I have Tesla stock. But in the short term, 3 to 6 months, I could see me doing very well with NIO.
I don't disagree with you. As a matter of fact, I have a confession. Everything I've said the last hour was just complete bullshit. I'm just trying to drive the stock price down so I can buy in.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
That's probably true. Probably true, guys.
No. A lot of the money that's sitting in NIO and Nikola and FUV right now
might
is money.
Sell out.
They're going to sell out and they're going to buy into Tesla as soon as it splits. If we're right, If we're right, we should see a noticeable dip in the share price, and
You know what? I hope you are right, by the way.
Me
'cause
too.
my
If you
Tesla
want to,
stake is so much bigger. So.
yeah. Well, if you want to buy in, if you want to buy into NIO, and if you're going to hold a position and you have some cash on hand and you don't want to increase or get a position in Tesla, then yeah, you buy into NIO, because that for 13 to go to 17, 13 to go to 20, that could happen in a second, right?
That could be a day, honestly.
Right. That could literally that could be a day. It could be a day if Nikola has a bad December 2nd, right? You know, December 2nd, Nikola Day is awful. The truck,
There's no car.
Right. There's no car. It's basically a bathtub of liquid hydrogen. It's just with wheels on it, and they're pushing it, and they go, oh my God, get rid of this company. The market cap tanks. Tesla's too expensive. They throw it in NIO. All of that stuff could happen. But like we've always said, that's not necessarily fundamentals. That's just like, are you trying to make money? Now we're gambling. How much does a used NIO go for? We don't know yet because they're all brand new. Right. These are all questions that we need answers, that we have these answers for Tesla, and we have legacy automakers to compare it to. So when NIO starts to get this data, we first compare it to legacy automakers, and it has to beat them on every level. NIO will grow its market cap organically if these cars stay on the road, they get better every year, and if they do leverage their battery technology and they're able to produce higher capacity batteries, pulling all the crappy ones off the market, putting brand new ones out there, getting more miles out of current cars.
You know what you're saying right now? I didn't even,
crazy.
You know what? I didn't even think of what you said to me earlier. That wasn't even part of my bull case. The fact that NIO can give you a whole new battery without you even knowing it, and all of a sudden your range goes from 300 to 400 miles. I didn't even think of that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's sort of an insane proposition to do.
And the CEO didn't mention that.
That's crazy.
That bothers me. You say that on the freaking call,
right? I think
because Tesla says that
culture. It's a different culture, right?
But every company has the same model. You want people to invest in your company. You want to tell them all the positive, good news. Even if they just said that, let us know what you think in the comments. Is Vitaly right? Am I right? Is there a combination? Let us know what you think.
What are you investing? What are you doing?
What are you investing in? You have $10,000. Are you putting it in Tesla? You're putting it in NIO? What's your split? Let us know if you agree, disagree, if there's other information that we're not taking into account that could maybe sway us. This is interesting to us. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, because if I could get more information on how NIO rocks, I'm buying more of NIO.
And if I get any more information about any more bullish information, I'm putting a put option on that company.
Yeah.
I'm putting put option on them.